What game had the biggest impact on your life and why? Minecraft. That game has helped me through so many rough times and I have an incredible sense of nostalgia for it. Even now, in the pandemic, it's still helping me out, as I can still interact with my friends in the game. At first I didn't understand the appeal for my kids, but they got me to join them in constructing buildings, etc. It's therapeutic. I love it. We need more parents like you who actually try stuff their kids like. If I could give you Reddit gold, I would. RuneScape took some more hours of my life than gaming is supposed to. Edit. I just checked. I got 575 days of gameplay, hehe. Club Penguin. It was my escape from the world for years. There I had friends and could lose myself to roleplays that were better than my real life. I'm better now. I have friends and like myself more. But for young me that was the escape I needed. Dungeons and Dragons. I started playing when I was 10. Here we are 38 years later and I'm still playing D&D. Lots of my friendships revolve around the game. MILF City because I can live out me dream as a MILF hunter. Kakyoin. Far Cry 4. I was going through a tough time in life and missions that took place in Shangri-La gave me a lot of insight into how to come out of the mess. It unknowingly turned out to be a turning point in my life. Super Mario Galaxy is the first game I truly fell in love with, really kicked off my gaming addiction. Such an amazing game. I still cannot understand how they programmed the gravity, and how they made it feel so natural at the same time. This game will make you come in 10 seconds. Very repayable. Okami. My absolute #1 favorite game of all time. The first time I ever tried a dating site, I found somebody who had the game listed as one of their favorites in her profile. Jump forward 11 years. We're now married with 2 children. You just gave me an idea for a new dating app. Zelda. Ocarina of Time. The timing of the game, riding around on your horse and unique temples made this one of the best adventures. There were so many unique aspects to the game that really made it stand out and make it a magical experience. Probably wow. I've never spent that much time playing any game, much less the same game off and on for approximately 15 years now. From being a kid and hiding in my real-life basement on New Year's because I didn't want to socialize and watching the fireworks from org to raiding 3 days a week with a guild of cool people in Legion. WoW's always been there. The game. Congratulations on just losing, you fucking bitch. Absolutely this. I've been playing it literally non-stop for over a quarter of a century now. No other game can ever come close to that level of dedication. And I lost the instant I read the post title. I now have to go and message a bunch of people. Kingdom Hearts. I was a pretty lonely kid. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and my siblings were a few years older. But playing this game made my loneliness disappear for a few hours. The games me and my brother and my cousin played as we grew up together. N64, Mario Kart, Super Smash, Jet Force Gemini, GameCube Smash Melee, Double Dash, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, Time Splitters 2 and FP, Wii Smash Brawl, PS2 Samurai Warriors 2. We spent so many hours playing those together we could quote anything from those games and it'll still be funny today. It would be a 3-way tie between Minecraft, ZOMG, and Fusion Fall. All 3 games helped me during difficult times in my life and I gained good friends from each of them that I still have to this day. Undertale. That game forever changed how I play other games. I now think twice about resetting on RPGs, and in RL scenarios I am more likely to try to find peaceful solutions. It is also the only video game that has made me cry for reasons that aren't frustration. I wish I'd played it earlier. The hype ruined the game for me. I can see why everyone's praising it so much, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Fallout series from Fallout 3 up. Amazing gaming moments. 2 platinum trophies. Fallout 3 and 4. Would do. Vegas. but I suck at casino games. I learned a lot of American history in Fallout 3 and Fallout 76. I'm not American, and most importantly I learned English mostly from Fallout. Too bad that there are no more Fallout games for a few years. I'm thinking of making my own Fallout-like game, but I don't have the experiences with making games. Try New Vegas. It's about as good as Fallout 3 and there's far more to it than the casino games. I'm not saying I haven't played Fallout New Vegas. I don't have platinum from Fallout New Vegas, because it requires trophies from playing casino games. It kinda has to be Minecraft for me. I got super into Redstone in high school, which led to me learning a ton about digital logic and computers, and ultimately played a role in which discipline of engineering I chose to go into for college. RDR2 made me embrace my inner cowboy. Plus it was the one game my dad and I sat down and played. I would give him the remote and he would ride around on the horse and try to play. It was the first time he's played a video game and I loved seeing him relax instead of working all the time. Skyrim taught me a lot about politics. It was really weird, but I had a better grasp on politics and religious tensions because of that game. Halo Combat Evolved, first game that got me into gaming. Diablo 2. I spent most of my high school and junior high years playing it. I had a social life on there. I was good at it. It probably kept me alive. To be honest, that endless grind kept me busy. I didn't cheat. I made countless characters across many latter seasons. It even got me to learn math to calculate damage stat increases when designing builds, because at the time there were no adequate, reliable skill calculators. Hollow Knight. I was going through some tough times and romance issues back in 2018. I felt like I was in the world of Hollow Nest when I played the game, and to this day, I am still a hardcore fan because of how much it has changed my life. Minecraft. It gave me a means to connect to my cousin who is around the same age as me. We never saw eye to eye on anything and always fought maliciously and constantly tried to hurt one another. As kids, when our grandpa passed, it wrecked us both. I started diving into video games and played a lot of Minecraft, and she started playing with me. And by the time we got to high school we became fairly good friends. Minecraft also served as a medium for me to help a friend of mine that was going through a nasty breakup and almost killed himself because of it a few months ago. So yeah, definitely Minecraft. Mass Effect 1 to 3. Minus the last 30 minutes. The characters, story, gameplay, soul-bearing dialogue. Playing that game was like playing a book. I sank well over 1,000 hours into that trilogy, and I've never played its equal before or since. And I've been playing games for almost 40 years now, so that's saying something. Came here to say this. With the exception of the ending, it was one of the best designed, best voice acted, best set of user choices I've ever encountered. It's engineered as a perfect moral test with fascinating worlds and alliances. I miss it, BOTW, because it was a game that made me happy from start to finish from my first time playing it, and it got me through a lot of anxiety. Didn't really change my life, but one of my proudest moments was docking to orbiting spacecraft in Kerbal Space Program Monsieur. Like, ever. It was freaking awesome. Getting both rockets and payloads up there. Matching planes. Figuring out what the orange and purple markers meant. Circularizing. Orienting for final approach. Hoping the final wobble doesn't throw anything off, and then, finally, the camera jumps back and you realize WASD controls the whole ship. Gotta say, GoldenEye. I went over to my friend's house every single day after school 1 year to play with 4 or 5 other people. Had the most fun a teenager could have with his pants on. Even though I was one of the worst players. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe made my childhood friend leave me for a good 7 months. I get super competitive in Mario Kart. Not necessarily my favorite game, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater I had already been on a skateboard before it came out, but that game introduced me to the wider world of skate culture by exposing me to all kinds of tricks, styles, actual pro skaters, music, and just the aesthetic of the culture in general. THPS and the many sequels is definitely my choice, since it literally changed my life by cultivating a love for the hobby, sport, culture, and creating a lifelong skater and skateboard enthusiast, all the way into my 30s. Honorable mention to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I probably don't have to go into detail about why this game is since it has left a strong legacy throughout the gaming community across the world, so I will just talk about my personal relationship with it. Some of my best childhood memories of my dad were visiting him every other weekend and heading over to the nearest Blockbuster and renting OOT. I still remember how excited I felt when seeing the box cover at the store, and that first opening title sequence when you powered up the cartridge. My grandma had a NES, so my dad remembered the original Zelda games and was almost as excited as I was, and would talk about how cool OOT is when we were out with other family or friends. As a gamer kid, one of the coolest things is when a parent gets excited about a game and plays them with you. And now that he's gone, I'm going to cherish those memories of him watching me play OOT and watching him play when I needed help in a tough spot. The World Ends With You. DS 2008. If you know anything about me, I will not shut up about this game. The fact of the matter is, not only is it a really good game, it had a powerful message that it managed to deliver without getting preachy that at that point in my life I really needed to hear. Baseball. Made tons of friends that way. Learned that I can enjoy something without being any good at it. Learned how to accept a defeat graciously, because our team stank for a long-ass time. Learned about teamwork and being gracious in victory. Also, Dad driving me to all my Little League games all over town was how we bonded when I was a kid. He took time to help me train. We had great times. Overall, baseball has been a big part of my life. Life is strange. Don't know why, but it puts some things into perspective for me and makes me think about my decisions and how they'll affect my life. I'll also listen to the soundtrack every once in a while, and it just floods me with nostalgia. Scrolled way too much for this. Counter-Strike 1.6 and Go. These two games helped me a lot during specific stages of my life where I improved bonds of friendships with real and virtual friends. I learned a bit of English. I'm Brazilian, and it helped me to relieve the anxiety I always had. Minecraft. It helped me shift from being solely a consumer of things. If I have a vision for what I want to exist, I don't have to wait and hope for someone else to put it together. Dota made me realize how competitive I actually am, and then rewarded me for it. Halo 2. Specifically the multiplayer. Met some of my best friends through that game, and us playing together all the time kept me gaming a lot more even today than I would have otherwise, I'd say. Can't believe I scrolled this far for this. It also got me into modding games and led me to pursuing computer science as my degree. Terraria. I have 1,000 plus hours of just with my friends. That is the way I have made 2 friends. Age of Empires. It was the first game I played. Not to mention it was only the demo version at the time. But it's been a game my father taught me how to play well and helped me through, and it will always stay a dad-daughter game for me even if we no longer can play it together. I'm sure he would have loved playing on LAN once I was old enough to manage on my own. Lego's Pirates of the Caribbean is another one. It's, similarly to AoE, a game that I have strong connections because who I played it with. It was the first in the series me and my brother had, and we spent many hours with back pain from being hunched over my laptop. I've played a few of the games on my own, but it's never as fun with him. Honestly, I think it taught me to appreciate him a lot more than I did before. Dodgeball. It taught me how to be aggressive, avoid obstacles, and be independent. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball! Exclamation mark. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.